right now, what's happening, Tabitha, is been the craziest, most scary, frightening thing that I encountered in my 52 years on this earth. And because of Errol being able to step forward and really help us, bringing in the volunteers, introducing me to people, donations, it's been, I just can't tell you. It's been absolutely out of control.
That's
So
incredible.
I am
Yeah,
eternally grateful, Errol, for the help he did. Not just before, but this is the time that I've been in crisis. We've been in crisis for what is it now? 6 weeks now. So.
well, let's jump into that. I'd like to know more, of course. I know Errol from Sing Dance Crawl. That's how he and I originally met, which is in itself its own big charity event that benefits the Wingman Foundation. He emailed me about what you're doing, all about the kids and Feed the Kids, which is a program that essentially helps kids that are at the moment not in school but need, to eat. And so let's dive into all the work that you're doing.
We started our charity. We're turning 16 years old this month. The first 14 years of the charity, yeah, cheers. I had a beer, actually. That's not a beer, that's soda water, huh? What do I have? I think I have something in here in my office. I know, I could go for a cocktail, Bloody Mary right now, though. We started by just helping other charities and helping kids throughout town, because there was charities that couldn't do things that we could do because they were strict, had strict funding. So for example, there would we were 60 plus and moms would die of HIV/AIDS, and they wouldn't be able to pay for the funerals. The families wouldn't. So we would pay for funerals. We would pay for all kinds of things like that. We didn't tell a lot about that. I actually mentored homeless teenagers for 14 years, the first 14 years. That was the main part of what we did, was took care of homeless teens. But then the homeless teen academies shut down and they kicked the kids out on the street. And so we wanted to switch our focus and focus on food. I had worked for USDA and the WIC program out of college. So I learned how to run a food program, but not how to serve people, okay? Because I worked for the government. So I then took all the things that I had learned, and in 2 weeks, we decided to start giving away bags of food at the King Chavez Primary Academy. Because bicycles, people do the build a bike, when they have big conferences. We have a company here that would give us the bicycles, and then we would then gift them to schools. I already have a relationship with King Chavez Primary. So I had this idea, can we just come and bring bags of food and give them to your working and your homeless families? Because we feel that food is probably one of the very top things that kids need more than anything, because if they don't have food, can't think. If you don't have food in the household, the parents go without food as well. So that starts a whole other downward spiral of problems within the family. So we started with 30 families in September of 2017. By December of 2017, we had 150 families. So we had grown out of school. We set up so that when the parents would come pick up their kids from the after school program, they would get bags of food. So then we decided to rent hall around the corner from the school, and we started our own food pantry. So we would go to the food bank, buy food, bring it back, set it up room like a store on tables, and then our families would come in. I worked for over a year with UCSD engineering department. We had an app that was for us. We can check in our families and sign up our families in record time. A family can sign up in less than 2 minutes, and we can check in a family in less than 2 seconds. And it has all data. So we keep track of zip code, we keep track of school, everything. So by January of this year, we have over 1,400 families on the program.
One thing I want to chat about with you is the fact that this is local too. This is here in San Diego, and it's growing exponentially right now.
And it started basically just the kids of Chavez Primary Academy and the school around, but now the children that come to our pantry go to 45 schools and live in 25 zip codes, because I have all that data exploded. Because basically, and we also ask them, how did you find out about us? When we ask them the questions when they sign up, and the most answered question is friend. Our website, I have a post that I just posted that says "Wait can help." So it's donate, because we need money to buy more food and more. We spend over $150 week on bags, plastic, because the grocery stores can't give us bags anymore because they're giving them out and there's a shortage on plastic bags and the price went up. So I like drive all over town trying to find the Smart and Final that will sell me boxes of bags. It's really funny.
How has this pandemic really affected what you've been able to do in order to feed the kids?
Well, we had to change everything we did. We had to change from people walking in and only having volunteers and only taking like an hour and a half to set up. We had to change that to a drive-through and a walk-up service, which takes times the amount of volunteers because we have to bag all the food. Okay. And that takes so much labor to bag the food, to organize it, to hand it out. You know, we're doing over 500 cars through the drive-through, well over 500 cars in 4 hours, as well as 250 people walking up. So, and some of them are not just one person, it's mom and the 2 kids that had to walk because she doesn't have anybody to take care of the kids and they walk there. Okay. So it's super hard. Like the line goes down the street around the corner. The traffic goes all around. Errol, I'm going to see if they can bring the drone next week.
Well,
so
I think that
the
most impactful thing that at least I've seen working with Angela is that, her ability to reach out to the community in her network is awesome on its own, but there's definitely a need for that. And that's why, because she's done so much for so many people, like at least for myself and the industry network that I know, she's done so much for so many businesses, locally asked for it. Like it was great that people actually stepped out when they had the ability, but she was very mindful about, where we are in terms of the health and, the issues that we need to be aware of. So providing gloves and, some people provided masks, making sure that we're doing all these things according to the CDC, and when people have to sign and check at that. But to your question, I can only imagine, like when I get there, their trucks are unloading pallets of food, and the amount of mouths that need to be fed are insane. Like she said, like logistically, she literally had to create, it looks like an In-N-Out / like Better Buzz, people coming up, and they had people having to not only check in and make sure that she doesn't turn away anybody that needs food. That's the one great thing about her. She never turns away a family that's in need, even if they're not in the program. But it just helps her track and make sure that she can send that to whomever that she needs to. So, because it's all about how much food and like they have and like the things that are necessary to do what she does. As she mentioned, I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds of families now. So for me, just looking and working with her, there's just so much stuff needed. Like even for just volunteers to come in to make sure they're safe, providing gloves. Like, some of us, take it upon ourselves to buy stuff. They can't, buddy, and the things to make sure that we as volunteers are safe. So the outpouring has been great for the volunteers, but I know that they need much more, like, I'd say just financially to support for the food that they're being served and for the people there, because that's what it's all about.
Well, what's going to happen is food banks are running short on food.
Yeah.
Okay. So that means I might have to buy it, but I don't know who I should buy it from because there isn't any food to buy. So our thing is produce. We love produce and lots of it. So I am making as many deals as I possibly can and going down to the border down in San Ysidro where all of the grocers are, where all of the produce distributors are, because we ended up picking 1,000 pounds of lettuce. So that's what we really want to push is the produce, because that's what keeps our families healthiest.
Yeah, and
I'm begging I haven't begged in a long time, but that's what I'm saying is that I'm begging.
So you need volunteers, produce, plastic bags, money, of course, in order to get some of the food, which some of it comes from, as I was reading about, it comes from the San Diego Food Bank. Some comes from other sources for you to help distribute. But the best way for people to contact you is your website.
That's the best way. Because that's what I put that post up about will help. Because some people may not have the money, but maybe they want to start a fundraiser for us. That's another way. We love when people raise money for us because they're sitting home, they don't have anything to do, or they're bored, but maybe they can reach out to some family and friends and raise $100. $100 is 200 meals. We can do a meal for less than 50 cents. Okay?
Yeah, break down the economics in terms of like a lot of what the dollar goes to, Angela. I think that's very powerful.
In our charity, 94 cents of every dollar goes to programs.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can see it. Like I know there's a lot of people out there, and there's I always look at the better side of things and are more hopeful, some bad characters out there. When you go to see what she does on a weekly basis, there is nothing but the truth there. You see it, and you're involved in it, and that's why it's without question that, like, when people are involved, they want to come back.
I was crying behind my sunglasses and my mask.
I think what you guys are doing here is incredible, and hopefully this helps just a little bit to get the word out about what you need, how people can help, because there are a lot of people in the community who want to step up and don't know where to place their funds. They know people need help, but they don't really know how to truly do it. So I will make sure that your website is on the screen and people can contact you, volunteer, get you the hookup for the produce. And then if you need anything else, like, feel free to reach out to me however I can help. I'll definitely be making a donation today. I have $50 that someone gave me to make a donation with, and it's going to you guys. Thank you.
Well, you realize that's 100 meals.
Yeah.
100 is $50.
Tabitha, you,
okay?
yeah, and to you, Tabitha, I can't thank you enough for you being interested in to this cause, because I completely feel it's one of the most amazing things, and also for all your effort keeping us sane and like giving us things to watch and directing us to the right places. You're awesome, Tabitha. So two of the most amazing women I know. God bless you both for.
And when this is all done, I want big hugs and kisses. I know people are saying maybe they won't go to a party after this. I don't care, Errol. You know I'm having one. I'm having a big party, and it's going to be a hugger party, and we're going to hug each other, we're going to kiss each other, and we're going to say, oh my God, because I miss it. I'm going back because I can't wait, because I see Errol and I go to hug him, and then I'm like, how can I not hug him? I mean, this is terrible.
We'll hug it out. We'll hug it out later. But ladies, thank you so much for this. And I love you, Angela. I will be seeing you next week.
And we forgot to Tabitha, Errol married me to my husband, by the way. He was my officiant. We forgot to mention that huge thing in my life.
Yeah, every time you say it, though, it's I was actually a co-officiant. I had one of our other great friends in Sky Kabak. We were the officiants for both her and her now husband Wayne. It was one of the best things I've ever done in my life.
It was so fun.
Just this stuff. So
yeah.
But she goes around telling me, like, Errol married me.
I know, I can't say it right. You were my officiant. But it was like, what does that mean?
That's awesome.
Married me, Have a beautiful Friday.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.